It's the beginning of the month, so we're looking at the long-term charts to see how the markets are moving, and there's a really interesting setup in a precious metal in the long-term time frames that's forming that nobody's talking about right now. You gotta see this. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. So everybody's talking about gold, obviously, but nobody's talking about palladium. So as you know, at the beginning of the month, I like to look at the long-term monthly and weekly charts to give us an idea what the overall direction of the market is. Because we always want to trade with the markets. If we trade with the markets, it'll increase our probability of success. This is the long-term chart of palladium, the monthly chart. I know, it's a brutal chart. Ever since 2021, when palladium topped out. Forget about this monster candle. There was I think it was an Indian hedge fund that was completely caught off guard with a palladium short and had to be rescued. This is arbitrary, not representative. Cross that out. So we have this major down move in palladium. One of the reasons for this is, from what I hear, is that the Russians are dumping palladium on the market, kind of similar to what they do with oil and gas and uranium, trying to finance the war in Ukraine, which obviously then pushes down palladium prices. And obviously palladium used very much in combustible engines, which with the rise of the electric cars and electric vehicles, obviously people think that this might not be a market of growth anymore, which I would agree with them. But let's look at the long-term chart, and what we see right here, as you can see on the monthly, we had the critical support zone. This is it right here, this blue zone. And we hit it on the monthly in 2024, and we're forming a base. This is what the monthly tells us. We are forming a base. Yes, obviously, we are way below the 100-day on the monthly. But let's take a look at the 20. The 20-day is still pointing down. It makes sense, right? We had a strong down move. But if we break above the 20, things might get interesting. Now, we're still far off. This is the monthly again. But we see this base here. We already see for the first time since 2022, we tried to attack it in October. We didn't make it, but we tried. And this is already what I'm trying to show you on the weekly. You can see this is the 20 on the this is the weekly chart, and this purple line is the 20 SMA on the weekly. And here you can see the base forming. Really nice base. Has been taking all year. And we know the old saying in the stock market, the longer the base, the higher in space once a stock, a commodity, a currency, a cryptocurrency breaks out. So this is the weekly. We are right there, as you can see, at the 20. We tried to break out in the fall, couldn't make it, went back down, but the support zone is holding. And this is the interesting part that we see on the weekly. And that's why I like to zoom out in the beginning of the month and look at the longer term charts to give us an idea what's really happening. What's really happening is the base is holding, the bottom is forming. Nobody is buying palladium right now. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's buying palladium stocks, which I actually wouldn't buy anyway because most of them are in South Africa. That's not an area where I invest. But you can trade palladium And this is quite interesting. If we can get palladium again at the upper end to the middle part of the support zone, so anything about 900 to $890, that is an attractive entry price for palladium for a long-term long position. We have a situation with palladium where nobody is invested on the long side. If nobody is invested, it takes longer for the market to gain steam because nobody's talking about it. But once it gains steam, then everybody needs to buy because you have nobody that is long. And that is what makes this so interesting. If I buy this position on the long side, I probably have to realize that I might have to sit on it for a while. But once it completes this bottoming process, that the base that I showed you, that we see clearly developing for all of 2024, then we're going to have a major upside potential in palladium that nobody is talking about right now. That's it for today. Have a great day. One more thing, because we're in the hot part of the college football season, Arizona State won. Here we go, 49-7. So you're going to have two special shows, Drinks with Dan, coming. We're going to talk about markets. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about in the capital markets, stocks, sectors, 2025, what you think, what you would like to know, as long as I have expertise. If I'm not an expert in this, I'm honestly going to tell you, and I'm going to say, you're going to find someone that is better suited for this topic. So please write your questions in the comments here, and I'll pick out the best ones and then answer them in Drinks with Daniel that are coming this December to the theater near you. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.